Hello, my name is Nia, and I've actually been in ARMY since 2016. I discovered BTS during Blood, Sweat and Tears era, and I've been actively keeping up with them ever since. So, I discovered BTS through YouTube, and back then they were just rising to fame, I still remember, and in Canada they were as popular, but a lot of my friends were just getting into them, and they showed me their music video for Blood, Sweat and Tears, and I remember being in complete awe of their choreography, of their lyrics, of their message, and just everything, and I fell through this loophole of just listening to their entire discography, reading their translations, watching Run BTS, and ever since, I think the biggest change in my life has been through their positive messages that they do spread through their music, through their words. They have been such a big inspiration for me, and especially as a musician, just seeing these artists of color and just seeing how BTS navigate through all of these challenges in their career, it's very inspirational for me, also as a person of color. So yeah. So my first song was actually Healing, and I released that in 2020. I've been into poetry ever since my elementary school days. I was just known for writing poems, writing songs and whatnot, but to actually compose and sing, I started learning that in 2020, so before the pandemic started. And when the pandemic actually hit, I think I had so much more time to get these vocal lessons, to learn how to properly produce, and that's when Healing came out, the first ARMY song project. And ever since, I've just been trying to sort of improve myself on making music, because it's a very long process and it's very technical, and to sort of make something that resonates with everyone, there's many drafts created, there's a lot of work put into it behind the scenes. Yes. And I love music, and BTS they sort of strengthen my love for it as well, and my passion for it. And there have been many times where I think to myself, do I even really want to do this? It's such a struggle. It's so much creative work being put into this, being put behind each song, each lyric. But in the end, it all pays off because I'm truly passionate about it, and I'm looking forward to releasing my debut album next year.
That's absolutely amazing. And I'm guessing BTS also played a big part in your becoming as a musician.
They're truly my driving force. Just watching them and their content and how they are in the studio, how their group dynamics work, everything is just so inspirational, and they're so resilient. And all of their music, the versatility, the difference in genres, how they explore and grow as artists, it's very inspirational.
I feel like for a lot of people that do music, I myself, I'm not a musician, but I do sing, I do play piano, and music. I feel like for a lot of us, BTS inspired us to do more.
Exactly. All I could say is that, so the first member who reacted was Jimin, and I was watching the live, and while I actually had to watch a replay because I remember I was at an appointment or something, and I came home and I was watching the replay, and I was so shocked because once I heard him mention love letters, I was just so shocked. I think my initial reaction was just to pause, and then I started crying because our team put so much work behind it, and we have been creating this project for like the past 3 years, and obviously our main goal was to somehow for it to reach BTS because the lyrics and everything was just created for them. And to see Jimin react to it, it was just so amazing, and it felt like our dreams came true, and it was just so unreal. And then Jungkook and then RM, all of them reacting to it, it just it just feels so unreal because every time I'm watching these lives and I'm seeing other ARMY commenting about love letters, I feel so grateful because I feel like as a musician, and my team also feels this, it feels like to create this project, we wanted to sort of be a voice to ARMY and say things to BTS that as a fandom we want to say. And it was sort of like a thank you project. And for a lot of ARMY to be able to resonate with these lyrics and to be able to relate to them, and for that to go over to BTS because of their support, I feel like that's the only thing that has led us this far. It's because of ARMY. And it's just, our team has been so grateful. We can't even imagine it. Every time this happens, I'm just in tears. I'm so emotional, and I'm just so proud of how far we've come as a project.
And I watched all of the lives when they reacted to them. I honestly cried when during Jungkook's one, because he started crying. They all had different reactions, but he started crying, and I started crying as well because the love letters, the lyrics are really, really beautiful. Whoever worked on the lyrics for those, you did an amazing job.
Thank you so much.
You deserve it so much. So congrats.
Thank you so much. I remember vividly during Jungkook's live, when he started crying and he was saying a lot of stuff in Korean, I was running back and forth from Twitter and Weverse to see the translation of what he was saying about the song, and it was just so heartwarming, and I can't handle seeing any of them cry, so seeing them cry made me 10 times more emotional. It was
just back to your song, so
yeah.
I can't imagine how that feels.
And we wrote love letters for over a year. It took a while because we really wanted this one to be a special one. And for Before the Storm, that was our previous song project. We created that in the height of the pandemic, and it was pretty like, we created that in under like 3 months-ish. And I think as artists, our entire team has grown so much musically, especially over the pandemic, over 2022. So while we were writing love letters, we focused so much on the technicalities behind the song, behind every verse. We wanted it to be very professional, very profound, and we also wanted the lyrics to be very heartfelt and genuine. So it took a while to actually come up with these lyrics and to get them approved and to make sure that they were okay to release, that they were something that we truly wanted to convey and something we thought everyone would appreciate being conveyed. So I co-wrote the song with our producer. She goes by Saint Artemis, and we both wrote it together. And it's just amazing to see, especially during Namjoon's live, when he was singing along, it was just so amazing because it felt like, wow, we wrote that. And
he knows the lyrics to it.
He knows the lyrics. So yeah, it's just an honor, I think. Especially to be able to sort of represent ARMY in a way. That was never our intention. We truly just wanted this project to be sort of a charity project that gives back to not only the community, but also something to give back to ARMY for the anniversary every single year. And also we thought it would be something creative, I guess, because ARMY is just full of creative forces, and I myself, I love music, and I thought, why not this project be something where I give back using my passions to BTS. So that was sort of the idea behind it, and to think that that initial idea grew so much over the years to the point where it did reach BTS, it's just amazing. I'm just speechless.
Well, you deserve it. So again, congratulations.
Thank you so much. So for our song team, we had around 12 members. So I co-wrote it with one other ARMY, and she was the one who also produced it. And there was another ARMY who is a guitarist. Her name is Lisa. She sent us guitar parts for the song and then we mixed it. So us three, we were mainly the forces behind the song itself. And there were quite a few vocalists, around 10 to 12 vocalists. And we had chosen them through this audition process. And so that was behind the song itself. But for the entire project, there was around 300 ARMY that was a part of each one of our teams. So we had a lot of creators, a lot of graphic designers, a lot of promotions team members, and all of them were chosen carefully through research, through looking at their portfolios, through auditions, and it was a big team, so a lot of happiness to share. I'd say the most challenging part was just managing everything. So our project, it consisted of a lot of aspects basically, because we wanted it to be a celebration of ARMY talents and creatives, which is why we had, for example, a comeback map and all of these posters and all of these animations and a music video and whatnot. And for that, we had so many different ARMYs who were taking part in creating all of this. And because we had so many deadlines to meet, and I was the one sort of overlooking everyone's work, it was pretty hard and challenging to sort of make sure everything was ready and available during the time we would want to post it. So for example, for our comeback map, we had a lot of components and it was sort of like a traditional BTS style comeback. We thought it would be pretty fun to do it like that.
Yeah.
But to even make the comeback map, it takes a lot of time to come up with these ideas. It takes a lot of time to execute these ideas, especially for graphic design. I think the ARMYs who graphic designed all of these posters worked extremely hard within all of our team, because they just had a lot of pressure with all of these deadlines. While we were working on the song, we had until June 13 to finish it. So it was pretty okay for the song team since we had so much time, but for all the editors, they were sort of in a time crunch. So just managing all of this, making sure everything comes together and posting all of our content on time, just making sure everyone's okay with the deadlines because of time zone differences. I think that was our most difficult challenge, especially because we only had around 3 admins who were helping me overlook everything. But in the end, it all came together. And even though we had quite a big team, I think the way we managed the project and the way we let ourselves sort of organize what we were going to do and how we were going to execute this project, it all came together in the end. So this is a long story. So Love Letters, originally the entire idea was, even if I wrote you 1,000 love letters, it would never truly be enough to convey how much we feel about you, how much you've impacted and changed the trajectory of our lives. And that was the entire concept behind the song. But to actually create a flowing song that was telling a story, it took a lot of thought and a lot of research, because also we ended up referencing a lot of BTS's music within the lyrics. I'm not sure if anyone noticed, but
I feel like a lot of people noticed little Easter eggs here and there.
I would hope so. We truly tried to be the most creative, find the most creative sort of way to express all of these feelings, to represent our community, to give thanks to BTS during their 10th anniversary. And so I think one of the lyrics was, "Remember the magic we made and the mountains we moved." And when we were writing that, we were just sort of looking back at our entire journey with BTS and how much we've been through, because BTS has just been through, and they've just navigated through all sorts of challenges throughout their career, and for them to make it to their 10th year is just phenomenal and so inspirational. And now we are in this new era where we are navigating all of these new changes, and we're enjoying solo activities, we're going through their enlistment processes, and just it's a very new and difficult era, I think, especially for the older armies who have sort of been there and we didn't really have this. And I think just keeping that in mind, we wanted to create lyrics that would be sort of a reassurance, because we see whenever BTS go on live, whenever they're doing interviews, all they do is reassure us. They're like, oh, we are coming back as a group in 2025. We hope you enjoy this chapter, but this is merely a stepping stone to the next chapter, and that is when we are back as a group. And I think all of these words of reassurance have really helped ARMY and helped us just sort of go through this era, because I know it is very hard, and every time those Bieber's notifications come up, it's just a very difficult thing. But BTS's reassurance had made it all so much easier because we have trust in them. So while we were creating the lyrics, we wanted to sort of get that back and reassure them and say, yes, you have been there for us, and we are so thankful for it. We can't even put it into words, but we will be there for you until 2025. We are right here. We aren't going anywhere. And that was the entire idea behind it.
The same way that they reassure us every single time. You just want to reassure them back this time.
Exactly.
And they got that. Namjoon got that. He explicitly said that in his live.
Yeah, that was just such a relief, because one, we didn't even imagine that it would reach that far. We thought ARMY would be able to enjoy it, and we were so excited about that, because this project, we just wanted to sort of not only give back through charity, but also represent the diversity and talent in our fandom. So we were all very grateful and happy that it was enjoyed by so many people. But the fact that it did reach BTS and they did listen to our words and they did see the lyrics, it meant so much, because so much of the project was, so much thought was put into crafting these lyrics, crafting these messages, and just trying to tell them that we are here and we will be here and we trust you. And ever since Namjoon saw that, there is such a relief in me, because that's all I've ever wanted to tell them. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of my team agrees, and so many ARMY can agree as well. We just want them to know we're here and we trust you.
I think Love Letters is one of the biggest songs that ARMYs have done. And it's very, very well written. When I first heard it, again, the lyrics of Look at the magic we made and now just been moved, that hit me so hard. I don't know. The lyrics are so well written, the way it's produced, the vocalists, everything.
Thank you so much.